Well, earlier today, as of the recording of this video, would have been the 20th of August. I'm probably gonna upload this. It'll probably be Monday by the time I upload it, though. And yeah, I decided to finally dig out the rest of these garlic bulbs that I planted back in April. And again, I just want to reiterate that these garlic bulbs were grown from grocery store garlic, which if you do a little reading online. Some people are staunchly against it, using grocery store garlic for various reasons, mostly related to GMOs and organic stuff. But many in the online gardening community recommend only using certified organic sets, that you would buy in a home and garden center. But that really wasn't part of my experiment. My overall experiment was to see what could be grown from produce scraps, because you already make the purchase once, you use up the product, whatever it is, and then in the case for these things, see what you can regrow. And that's what I wanted to do. And so yeah, anyway, I was going to wait a little while longer. In a previous video, I mentioned that I was going to wait a while longer. But if you look at this here, according to all my research, the stalk and the leaves here are all showing the outward signs of being ready to come out. Because all these outer leaves that you see here, that look dead like this, under the ground they become that papery wrapping you have to peel off the garlic bulb. So that's what that is there. And yeah, so this is what was produced after all these months. Aside from being a bit on the small side, they formed beautifully, I have to say. They formed beautifully. And I've already eaten 2 of the 6 garlic bulbs I grew this summer. And they were good. I did do a little research on why is my garlic so small. I did a lot of looking online, as I already mentioned, and of my many queries, that was one. Why are they small like this? What would have caused that? And of course, my first initial thought was, you didn't exactly do this the right way. You grew it from supermarket garlic, but that may or may not have been the case. Many people online complained about that specific issue. And, excuse me, some people said inadequate nutrition could be the culprit, and, other people said that when the soil is too densely packed, and this is what I feel probably occurred with mine, when the soil, or it could be a combination of multiple things, but they said when the soil is too densely packed, it can cause an environment where the bulbs aren't able to expand as much as they might if the soil were a bit looser, And I definitely had densely packed soil. I mean, if you saw, it's very, in this Appalachian soil is very rocky. A lot of large pieces of debris, which I tried to clear out as much as I could. And it rained and rained like crazy this summer. And it just packed in the dirt even tighter and tighter. But, out of fear of damaging them, I chose not to go in with a fork or something, some type of gardening tool and loosening up the ground. So, but anyway, otherwise, yeah, that's that on the garlic. It's out of the ground, and I've been eating it, and the flavor is very robust. I have no complaints. So, yeah, now on to these damn tomatoes, which, as of the recording of this video, it's been 106 days since I sprouted the seeds from the store-bought Roma tomato that I bought, at a local supermarket, and I plucked out some of the seeds, 12 actually. And, of the 12 seeds, 5 sprouted. And of the 5 that sprouted, 2 of them died. And then I was left with 3. And 2 I put in. I was just going to kill the other one, the third thing. And then I just didn't have the heart to. And I ended up planting it in the corner of the yard. But, yeah, these 2 here. Online, they grow. They got huge. But online I read 85 days to maturity, but although I've got a nice amount of tomatoes here, as I'm showing, none of them have ripened yet. And these things got hella bushy. Actually someone told me to prune away a lot of the excess foliage so that the plant could focus on fruit production. And, looking at the pile of branches I cut off, you would think there was a third tomato plant in there, but no. It just overgrew so much. And I also removed a ton of suckers because it's already late August. And I'm still waiting for ripe tomatoes, man. And I just, I got and I'm tired of this thing growing out of control. I'm tired of waiting, and I also read that, yeah, the more suckers you remove, and normally you wouldn't do that on determinate varieties, but the more suckers you remove, you prevent the creation of new production stems, and so you focus the energy on just producing the fruit that you've already got. And I know that's probably an envious problem for some, like, oh my god, my plants are growing too well. You know, some people probably hear that and they think like, why are you complaining? Your plants are growing out of control. That's, sort of what you want, but it is still kind of a problem because it's getting later in the season, and we've had a really cool and wet summer where I am, and I think that's like partly contributes to what's going on here. And yeah, so in the end, I worry about damage to the tomatoes before I can eat them. That's basically my main concern. So yeah, to carry on with tomatoes here, this is the cherry tomato plant that my roommate bought at Home Depot. I've mentioned this, a few times already in some of my previous videos on this subject matter. This is the plant that I cloned in June, and which is now exceeded the height of my third Roma plant, as you can see. So so much so that it became necessary to build this like a better makeshift tomato cage here to contain the growth. Because so my roommate never took his tomato plant out of the pot. He just left it in the original pot it came in, and I guess these things grow to up to 10 feet when placed in the ground. And he left his in the pod, and so it's sort of stunted here, as you can see, but or you saw, but yeah, it's in the ground. It just keeps growing and growing, and there are finally tomatoes growing on the cherry clone, and at this rate, I get the impression that I'll probably be getting ripe tomatoes produced from this particular plant, from the cherry clone, before any of the Romas, and that's kind of annoying, but hey, whatever, it's still free tomatoes to me, so, either or, I'll take it. But, whatever, there's still plenty of Romas, obviously, it's just a waiting game.